1 career on the Ivern with no KDA to speak of, so they're definitely trying something, guys, and this one, it's not physical damage either.
No, it's definitely not, but Ivern, I do feel it's one of those champions that you really have to have strong mastery of and a strong understanding of to actually be able to perform well. We saw, even famously Peanut trying to actually swap to Ivern when it had been very meta, and that not working out for him, despite the fact that he's an extremely talented jungler.
What does Ning do? Get in your face and contest, and you can't steal camps walking up and channeling as Peanut showed us on the MSI stage in Rio de Janeiro 2 years ago.
IG showing us something new in their games to close out the group stage. Of course, 2 more for them. The first one up against Flash Wolves. Flash Wolves close to finding a victory the previous time these two went toe-to-toe. And while for IG, they are just chasing that 10-0. On the opposite side for Flash Wolves, it means so much in the battle for 4th. 1 spot remains in those playoffs. That 4th place spot, 3 teams fighting for it. PvP slowly rising up. Liquid struggling in their first game of the day. Prime opportunity for Flash Wolves to find an edge here, to find an advantage, and potentially be able to take the game.
And unlike last time we saw the Shy playing this matchup against Impact, it is going to be Glacial Augment. This should be the Super Soaker Spooky Ghost that we saw Impact actually showing off, and certainly looking like it was fairly effective there. They do have the ability, you always have to take in consideration, the extra buffs that can be donated to the team with Ivern. If they are able to get topside control, things like donating a red buff to your top laner becomes a reality, and that is certainly something that can give you a very strong 1v1 advantage.
The Dunk Master showing off his moves. Important to note that Ivern, likes to invade wherever possible, wants to go for a path where he can get a big buff, steal it away with Smite. We do see that Cassiopeia is definitely going to have priority on the size of Cassiopeia buff in the patches since the playoffs, just a bit of mana tuning between the abilities. We will watch on with interest to see how much of a power farm Ning is going for.
Yeah, and Cassio is such an interesting pick to me because you do have the ability to deny some of those engages with the Miasma, but if you are not able to actually do so to stop Baolan before he can get in on top of you, you certainly can get run over, CC'd up, and knocked down incredibly quickly.
Will also limit the ability to take the opportunity to follow Ivern in if he is able to land that route. Now we do see the early invade coming through. Ning may not be ready for this one. Of course, has the smite available, will just take it and walk away. Power the Ivern, doesn't even have to give them an opportunity to contest.
Yeah, and Boogie now put a little bit behind the curve. He's going to have to walk back at a leashless.
Level 1 coming through. Betty taking a lot of damage here on the trade. Aftershock mitigating some of it, but Betty now trying to fire back in the trade. The Ignite comes out. Oh! That is a big Acathian rain. Jackie Love wants to get the kill. The heal's coming out, though. 1 more stack on the Plasma. Jackie Love has to back off, and what happened?
Yeah, that 5th hit there. The Plasma stacks came back up. Xiaoxi able to apply another one with the hook. They had the press the attack, also procced, and Betty flashes forward the Acathian Rain. There was no minions for it to hit, so all of that damage was going straight onto Baolan. And here it is one more time.
Baolan and Jackie Love were feeling up for brawling, but as you walk in, notice, Xiaoxi starts with the Aftershock proc, and we talked about that synergy between Nautilus and Kaiser. Still present at level 1. 2 abilities that proc the Plasmas, and Rakan's base stats, they ain't so good, and he's dead.
Instantly taken down, and now an advantage to the bottom side. Betty, a guy that we always look at when we talk about the Flash Wolves, now put in a position to make an impact, but Xiaoxi gonna leave him alone as he backs off, and now instead setting his sights in the mid lane. Keep your eye on the passive and the hook as well. Rookie has to run for his life. Ning on the way in, but the jungler is here as well. If Ning tries to commit, he may go down too. Boogie gonna get the knockup, and another kill going down for Flash Wolves.
Flash Wolves off to an amazing early start, and just like last time, it's someone from IG dying at level 1 in a fight they opted into.
Shades of Sword Art, one of the best roaming supports of all time, as Alistair never forget. Jumps on the Norse, level 1 Nautilus continues to pay it forward. They knew there'd be no vision around this area as Jarvan was working on the scuttle earlier on the bottom side control. They get the TP back into mid lane. Things coming up. Flash was in a big way in the early game, 2 games in a row.
Fantastic early game thus far. I love the callback to Sword Art, and especially when so much is on the line, when the chance to play in Taipei in front of your home crowd is there for the Flash Wolves. Absolutely massive in the early game as we look at a very fantastic run from Xiaoxi.
Yeah, and unfortunate timing for Rookie going forward in, does not expecting Xiaoxi to be there whatsoever, and despite the fact that Ning is around, Boogie coming down meant certain doom for Rookie.
Needed a full team play to make it happen.
Here we go again.
Theme.
Gonna connect. Jackie Love flashes out to safety. The flag and drag is there. Jackie Love all but dead, running away with his life. Desperately trying to make it out of this one. The Acathian Rain one more time. Betty's gonna grab it.
Everywhere he goes, the Midas touch for Boogie this game, and Ning is on a champion that cannot skirmish, as we know. They look like they're very practiced against this pick, and really hats off to Flash Wolf.
Yeah, Flash Wolves tracking him from that level 1 with the invade, pushing the advantage, knowing that Ning is not going to be online and ready to take these sort of fights at this stage in the game.
There's a hook going on bot side. We also have to check the trade in the mid lane. Ning there to back up with a shield, but that's about all he's contributed thus far this game, and still rather remains unafraid. May want to back and try to pick up an early tier or lost chapter here in this matchup. But Rookie, seeing the low mana bar and the low health bar, takes the opportunity to push for more aggressive trades.
In case you're wondering at home, this is Emax for the trade damage on Rather as his Ning.
Good sidestep. Root not going to connect as well.
Sometimes I forget to get less excited when the jungler is Ivan.
He could have gone for a flash Q.
It's nothing like hyping him up when he walks out and goes, woohoo! Like,
Yeah.
ah, yes, very exciting, truly.
I mean, the insane mechanical play for Ivern is eating yourself, flashing on them for the slow, and then queuing them.
Oh,
That's where you get advanced.
I'm watching for that one as well. Thank you.
You have to.
One interaction that I do want to track as we move forward is Nico copying a melee champion if taking the Ivern route will put her in melee range, which could potentially be a fantastic ult setup in team fights. Now, this is not a duo that I have seen yet, so I'm interested to see if that is something that IG try to pull off.
Lane spot's really horrible here for Rookie. That's why Ning walks up. Again, Emax, which was buffed. Now you can spam those Twin Fangs with less mana penalty on the Cassian. That is the skill order that Rather is taking. Does mean that he has less AoE to control the wave at times, but he just wants to stop Silas from free reign in him.
So to take a step back and talk a little bit about some of the things that Ivern will offer later on, you're looking at Jackie Love, who's having such a fantastic tournament, and Ivern certainly does provide a lot of peel, a lot of protection for this AD carry. Bao Lan certainly will have the shielding. You have the additional shielding from the Ivern, Daisy offering the knockup as well as additional crowd control there. And Ivern can really become a very effective team fighter, also very adept at pressuring your turrets because Daisy can be used to actually tank up a lot of those turret shots. So we'll see what Ning can make with this pick.
You're throwing out the analysis bombs on Ivern, and I appreciate it. I just think that he wanted the champion closest to Bob Ross for this happy fun time painting, and Ivern certainly fits the bill.
We'll see how many happy little clouds he gets the opportunity to paint. Unfortunately, it will be the Infernal
Happy little
Spawn
brushes.
at this point. And Balon has to be careful here, or does he? Ning, waiting, standing in the brush menacingly as Dunkmaster Ivern. The root, of course, is going to matter, a decent amount of damage if he wants to go for the shield as well. And now the follow-up is there. Balon going to get forward, the knock-up, but still, the Spider-Man and the input buffer mode is going to pull Xiaoxi out to safety, but Jackie Love still going to finish for the kill, the heal. Now coming in, Boogie on the backside, though. Jackie Love taking so much damage, pulled back, but Ning already tanking the tower. Boogie there to punish. Balon next. Challenging Smite comes in, but the Shy is here as well. The root going to land. Boogie going to get taken down. So incredibly low. Can they find the kill? The knockup is there. Rookie steals away the ultimate. Another kill to follow, and IG striking back.
Yeah, IG able to pull a rabbit out of the hat here, losing so heavily on the bottom side, but despite that, they're able to skirmish their way out of these disadvantages and utilize that TP from the Shy to great effect.
And the team play of IG in full effect is such a pleasure to watch. Both lanes out-roamed their opposition. TP came in first and Rather was out-roamed from the mid lane. That means they have first access and go 2 for 1. A slender lead, but a welcome one.
And just an insult when you are the one getting your ultimate stolen away when you're level 4 for the Nautilus. But we take a look back at how this play unfolded.
Yeah, going to be able to lock up Xiaoxi, but they just don't really have a lot of damage in the tank to actually, fire back. And Betty stepping a bit too far forward into Jackie Love, trying to take down Bao Lan while Jackie Love is free firing on him. But then this hook from Xiaoxi was great, and Boogie arrives.
And it's just the extra information of first access teleport and Rookie already in position for the turret dive. Comes in really nicely played by IG, but they needed to make a play like this because all previous tempo was advantage Flash Wolves.
Certainly was, and that ultimate from the Shy looked like it was so close to missing.
Literal
It's
pixels
like
off. It
the
had to be
pinky
pixels
toe
off.
of Jarvan was still in that, and it's going to do full damage, baby.
Technically counts. Knocked him up. And now IG's bottom lane. you know, it's interesting to see how these plays have unfolded because despite them being put in a deficit in terms of kills, they're actually staying quite even in farm, and Betty now has to be careful because there's a bounty on his head, and you know that as we get later in the game, IG are going to look to cash in.
It's a very different type of Xayah Rakan lane because usually when you have Nautilus support, your AD carry at all moments is worried about being ulted. This is actually just a kill the Rakan combo where you can apply that Pasma, keep him in spot with the route into the multiple forms of CC and take him down and actually keep Bao Lan accountable. But for now, at least, watching Ning, level 7, walking up. First Infernal Drake control goes the way of Flash Wolves.
And you can see Rookie now with that double buff. One was donated over from the enemy blue buff, now getting his own red buff, something that you're not normally able to have the luxury of, and is granted to you with this Ivor. And so certainly Rookie going to be thankful for that additional health regen, shrug off some of the poke, and also have some better trades.
A difficult spot now for Cassio as well, with the stolen ultimate there too. Has to respect the potential to engage. Silas, of course, will face her as he moves in, though, so feels like one of those matchups where whoever ults first might just lose out. A lot of tension in the mid lane, and IG now looking to find some backup. Rookie not afraid to step forward, but Boogie waiting off in the wings, ready to come in here and ready to collapse on this IG lineup if necessary.
It's kind of interesting to see how Ning is actually employing Daisy here. You can see he's using it much more as a scout. He's essentially walking Daisy through all these brush in the river that they didn't have wards in, and that is a very intelligent play, you know, making sure that they're not going to be face-checking into this Jarvan and getting caught off guard.
Now the collapse around the Infernal Drake. It seems like both teams very aware that this is the objective. Ning, though, now without Daisy, will be in a bit of a difficult spot if a fight does break out in the next minute or so. Now, once again, the attention is on the bottom side for the Flash Wolves, trying to put as much into Betty and Chelsea as they can. Valon has to be careful, has to respect the hook, but is backing behind that creep wave and is going to walk away.
A lot of predictable entrances towards this Infernal Drake fight means that no one will end up fighting. Teleports down on both top laners, despite them having pretty overlapping effects in team fights. You were talking about how the AP Nico is basically canon in a lot of ways when it comes to team fight impact. So because of that, in the 1v1 though, the Shy should have a lot of shove options because you have a lot of ranged push on the Nico that you have to get into melee range and pass through the minion wave as cannon to make work. So because of that, expect the game to be played under Hanabi's turret more often than not.
Yeah, certainly the case, and that is where that Nico auto-attack passive becomes very powerful. You can see right there that's demonstrated. The third hit outranges Kennen's autos.
And now Ning is going to try to fully make his way out of there as Boogie commits the ultimate, but burns the flash in the process. Ivern, of course, not necessarily notorious for that 1v1, especially with the Moby Boots itemization.
For a lot of matchups, you're kind of trying to work out what's the minimum expectation. For me, if it is Cassio picked into Silas, it's some sort of lane control, not getting roamed on, just having a health bar advantage. A solo kill, very unrealistic, but being one turret plate down and going CS for CS, for now at least rather, hasn't really found much out of the Cassio.
And Rather, of course, not a guy that we necessarily expect to dominate lane, known, of course, for his team fighting proficiency, but still in this matchup, do expect to see more from him, do expect to see those larger advantages. Of course, though, when you put the nameplates back on, tough for anyone to match up one-to-one against Rookie.
Exactly, and to his credit, you know, he is still going even. He is going to be that team fight threat. This is a Cassio who is going to scale very, very well into the later game stages, and IG pressing on this bottom side, trying to get the first turret, but it's actually the Flash Wolves who have taken the Rift Herald and are looking top.
They're getting more things. The Infernal Drake hasn't been started just yet. They're going to jam the Rift Herald instantly, but mid lane,
Rather now going to be in trouble, has to flash out to safety. Glacial Augment will not connect on the back of that Super Soaker, and Rather will walk away for now, but a few more tower plates going to go in the favor of IG, and a lot of gold going into the pocket of Jackie Love as Rookie maybe forced to retreat back here. The CC connects. Rookie, is he going to try to come in for a Battleland on the backside, and they are just going to try to delete Hanabi. Cannonall for Cannonall, taken away, but Rookie will use him as a highway to escape on the back of the Abduct.
turret dive there, super aggressive. This is a very IG move. Notice that so many teams around the world take the free Infernal Drake. They want stats now, not stats later with percentage scaling. So they're trying to get as many turret plates as possible, but they're going to lose their entire inner turret and top.
They certainly are, and I mean, Flash Wolves are just funneling all this gold into Betty. He's the one getting all those solo turret plates from the first turret. He's the one getting all the solo gold from the second, and look at that lead between the marksmen here, 1,400 ahead of Jackie Love, largely off of this little string of plays.
And now they have to keep their eyes on this Kai'Sa as we move forward into the game, because that is a huge damage threat. Of course, the Shy's lane lead is fantastic to have, but if the Kai'Sa is allowed to roam free or put in a position where she doesn't have to face the stronger members of IG, could be an absolute terror to deal with. And Flash Wolves doing very well so far in the early game.
And the downside is if Kai'Sa gets a full reset and can run to Infernal, that just means that IG were not able to get as much as Flash Wars, and they don't even get the Infernal as a fallback objective. It was so free because the enemy team was playing largely top side, but the battle lines have changed. That's what happens in League of Legends. Every back and ward timing changes where teams are strong, and right now is going to be an actual fight around that Infernal trade.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if IG is willing to commit to it. They don't have a lot of their kind of playmaking utility, no flash or ult on Rookie or Baolan. Baolan's ultimate will be up soon, but those are really kind of the main primary forms of engage. Yes, it can be Shy coming in with an ultimate flash or something along those lines, but we'll see if they have the confidence to try to just establish vision around that area either way, because Betty is in such a strong spot. He has all his summoners, and Xiaoxi does as well.
See if they want to fish for the engage here. The Void Seeker going over the wall, trying to scout somebody out. IG, though, looking surprisingly comfortable playing in this Fog of War. Will donate it over a second red buff into the hands of Jackie Love.
The scout.
Went with the Daisy. Xiaoxi now forced to run. The slow is there. Daisy just being obnoxious thus far, but all Flash was waiting over the wall. The ward will spot them. Daisy deleted before the fight even starts, and IG may back off here, but with the pressure in mid lane, they're feeling a bit more confident to move up.
Yeah, the positioning around this Infernal is so important. Ward battles will continue. Flash Wars would have to come through the front door to make this play happen. A couple of poke damages go down to Xiaoxi.
Yeah, Xiaoxi sitting at level 7. It is a pretty scary prospect to try to go forward into Rookie, sitting at that level 11. Yes, the Aftershock will give you some resilience, but as that expires, you are going to get knocked down quickly. So you need to make sure that when you go in, your whole team is in a position to immediately follow up and capitalize on that window of power.
And while Jackie Love has the luxury of using the Featherstorm to dodge out on Xiaoxi's ult, the stolen Nautilus ult is not the same story on the opposite side. If Betty gets ulted, he's going to be taken out of the fight, at least temporarily, and potentially knocked down with the amount of backline threat Rookie can provide. The gauntlet has been laid, though. Hanabi looking for the flank off to the side. IG starting this one up and slowly but surely taking it down. Bushes are being laid down, trying to hide as much information as possible, but they're on the Scuttle Crab. Baolan, fake Baolan, rather, now pretending on the top side, hoping maybe the Flash Wolves will step forward. Now the retreat's coming out. The hook is going to go wide. The Price Seeker. Flash Wolves just going to step forward and try to take this one. Ning not even get the chance to steal it. Beautiful use of the grounded to stop any follow-up. Rookie now stepping forward onto Rather. The knockup is there. Knockup traded back on the opposite side. The Kai'Sa, though, now in trouble, is forced to use the Featherstorm. Hanabi on the backside. This is going to be an awesome team fight for the side of Flash Wolves. Shy now trying to turn it back, but Rather still undamaged. Still Betty tearing through the entire lineup, and IG bite off more than they can chew.
Yeah, IG trying to initiate, but they don't have a lot of frontliners. The only one resembling one is the Silas during Aftershock, and you can back away, and suddenly Kai'Sa and Cassio are both putting out consistent damage that IG just couldn't handle.
Yeah, they certainly couldn't, and as soon as Jackie Love gets knocked down there, the fight felt like it was pretty much over. They weren't going to have enough follow-up despite the good ultimate from the Shy. Now, Jackie Love, I'm not sure if it was a conscious choice or not, but he was late on the Featherstorm for the Nautilus ultimate, so that actually came through. If you watch here, the Nautilus ultimate comes out from Rookie, Xiaoxi trades it back, Jackie Love just actually gets knocked up, then uses the Featherstorm afterwards, so you're taking a little bit more damage, and Hanabi just really well timed, coming through right as the Featherstorm ends.
I don't mind the play from Jackie Love without knowledge that Kennen is on the flank, but they had vision of him. They knew he was coming on the flank, so you couldn't afford to be too choosy with your cooldowns. He thought, I'm far enough away, I'll duck into the brush, they can't hit me initially, I'll be able to shrug it off. But they had vision on the flanking Kennen, and for that reason, I agree with you, Azael. Too late on the decision.
And now not only do Flash Wolves have a tower lead and a small gold lead, they also have the Infernal Drake, and it's perfect because Betty gets to fight on 1.5 items, immediately goes back, and now has 2 items. An incredible power spike for the Kai'Sa.
Yeah, the Rage Blade is just such a monstrously strong item for that Kai'Sa, proccing the plasma stacks much, much more quickly. And there are more champions who can be that front line, who can be those zones of control for Betty. When you have Nautilus and Jarvan, as well as this Kennen flying forward, that is creating this zone of protection that IG can't enter.
And I love the fact that you used the most important term, I think, for Flash Wolves, zones, because the way you fight as Flash Wolves, rather than Betty are just BFFs. Cassio can always peel for another secondary carry. Meanwhile, Kennen, Jarvan, Nautilus has caused disarray in the backline, and in every scenario like that, Betty starts off with safety and can reposition with his ultimate. So 5v5 is going to have to be very intricately played by IG to subvert what seems like some pretty clear team fight advantages to Flash Wolves.
I completely agree, and that's why for IG, you almost have to be able to change the paradigm. You can't be playing that front-to-back fight. It has to be shy, slowing people down with the Glacial Augment coming in from the side, Rookie flanking with perhaps a strong stolen ultimate like the Cassio ultimate and finding those stuns to start things off. If they can have that sort of an interest into the fight alongside Baolan, they may be able to break those battle lines and prevent Flash Wolves from setting up their zones of control.
And in that fight, we saw a preview of the power of the Nico as we move later in the game. Fantastic knockoff from the Shy. Not enough, given how impressive Hanabi's flank was. But there is signs for IG that they can find, that they can execute. The power and the champions is there. They just need to find the opportunities. For now, though, Flash Wolves trying to exert control over the map, laying down a bit of vision. Control ward there as well. Not able to sweep out too much of the topside vision from IG, but have total control of the mid lane and are now looking to push in and break down this tier 1 tower.
A lot of the little wins are actually in the matchup between the Nico and the Kennen. We talked about the pushing advantage and just the fact that Kennen spent most of the game on a flank. Pretty big CS discrepancy. It's only 30, but 110 CS at 19 minutes tells you that Hanabi's first focus hasn't been going for far.
And because of some of the turret gold that he's picked up as well, he's 1,500 gold ahead of his opponent, which is quite significant when you take into consideration the massive AP ratios on that Nico ult.
Definitely the case. JackeyLove picking up what farm he can. A bit of an unfortunate game. Started off looking quite dominant for him as he went for the aggressive level 1 trade, but turned against him, and now he's kind of been put behind in so many exchanges, finding good opportunities, but they're always getting turned against him. Flash Wolves impressively matching IG, it feels like, at every turn thus far in the game.
Recall comes, and it's almost Baron o'clock, and games have come unglued for the Flash Wolves around Baron. Remember Caps, Proto Belt stealing away a Baron in a game where Flash Wolves have done so much. It feels like of all the teams at this tournament, the so near yet so far team has consistently been Flash Wolves after day 1, where they were clearly off the pace.
I definitely agree. I think they are a team left with a lot of what ifs. What if Boogie secures that Baron against G2? What if they play more cleanly around that Baron with a monumental lead against IG the first time around? Flash Wolves could be sitting in a much better position, and this is a game that they are in a comfortable spot. It's a small gold lead, but they do have the Infernal advantage and some powerful team fighting. So we'll see, can Flash Wolves pull together a win against this team that is so adept at finding the little openings, at finding the holes in your armor?
So then if you're an IG fan, how do you find an advantage from here? Pull the map apart, make it about the 3 lanes, allow Silas to be a thorn in the side. Cassio is going to move second. Teleport is picked up by the Cassio, but the big thing here is when it comes to those group fights, unless you're finding a flank, it's probably going the way of Flash Wolves.
Absolutely, and of course, the later we go into the game, Ning is going to offer so much more shielding and support to JackeyLove. So while JackeyLove is in a deficit, Zaya does get truly terrifying. The 3-item spike, very traditional for those crit 80 carries, and will still be a massive threat in the team fights.
And that's another thing that's always very nice about having this Ivern. You're able to really speed up how quickly you're bringing in some of these support items that traditionally you have to wait much longer for.
Flash, the hook though, connecting on a Rookie. There's the damage on the backside. Rookie just immediately gonna get taken down. Doesn't even get to use the stolen Kennen ult, and Rookie overstepping on the bottom side.
And a great punish from Xiaoxi. No hesitation there. Flash hooks him in and will knock him down, but Ivern has so much more gold income than a traditional support, so you have things like the Ardent Sensor as well as this Athene's at only 21 minutes.
I'm just thinking how much the playoffs might be about this Nautilus-Kai'Sa duo. The burst duo and the burst damage from Kai'Sa feels like the nerves have been reverted in games like this with all that plasma application. Free kill, free Drake, more map control. 22 minutes in, Flash Wolves still looking great.
IG now pushing in. Betty going to be comfortable under the tower for now. Xiaoxi stepping forward. Boogie as well, ready to threaten. I think IG have to be painfully aware of how threatening the Flash Wolves comp can be around that Baron pit if they do get control. The Cassio and the Kai'Sa can shred through that health bar so incredibly quickly. But IG remain unafraid despite the 2k gold difference, despite the Dragon. Still comfortable pushing up this mid lane, knowing that so many members have backed.
They want to keep this game square. They don't have deep vision at all. All their control wards are shallow. They want to put down the brush and siege down this turret.
Backing off the Shy, though, throwing a Fate Clone forward. They're not going to fall for, not going to commit anything there. And Rookie off to the side now. We'll look to clear out a little bit of vision with that control ward and move down to the bottom lane.
And it's a good timing there from IG to actually punish the recall of Betty, who is back in base. And Flash Wolves surely do not want to take any sort of an engagement without their most fed player there. So Flash Wolf simply able to group, take that down. This is certainly an area where Ivern really does excel, utilizing this Daisy to kind of create this space, threaten the knockup, which can then give you easy follow-up crowd control. And it is a very frustrating thing to sometimes look for those engages into the Ivern brush.
Ivern makes it a 4-1 comp, where you just roll into mid lane with 2 ranged auto attackers and have Silas split away. The brush adds the siege power that IG may not have had in other scenarios, so for now at least, gets them the one easy objective that makes Baron a more realistic thing to set up. It doesn't really change the game state between these two teams.
And aggressive vision pings coming out from Flash Wolves. They move into the top side. Middle lane, of course, going to reset here in a brief moment, and Flash Wolves' eyes set on securing some of this Baron vision as Rookie forced to move up in anticipation of a potential fight.
See the nerves on Balan and Jackie Love, longtime duo lane world champions, but double control ward instantly, respecting the ward over the wall. They know that if they make a further mistake from here, the game could just be done. How many games at 25 minutes have been done at 29 minutes in similar scenarios to this? So Flash Wolves continue to group, and IG, with the Silas and bot lane, playing the 3 lanes like we mentioned.
And often in those games, ending and turning on that moment's notice, it's IG who are the ones taking control. But it has felt as though it is Flash Wolves dictating a lot of the pace of the game. Flash Wolves, you're finding the engages off of the back of Shao Si.
But what did we say when Team Liquid was in not quite as supreme a spot as Flash Wolves, but a similar spot where finishing a Baron was what they required? You get one against IG. You get one chance to set up the map and close it out. And if you make a mistake there, the second chance never comes. So because of that, we still watch on with earnest. We've seen this story from IG before.
And sadly, we've seen a story from Flash Wolves where even when they find these leads, they're not able to close it out. They're not able to move with confidence rather, through the mid-game. They obviously have so much power on this lineup, but the advantage that they've been building has slowly been shrinking as well. At once a 2K gold lead, now only 1.5 as IG is grabbing farm across the map.
So with easy objectives down, it has to become a Baron game from Flash Wolves. Their Baron with Cassiopeia Kai'Sa is actually insanely fast, and their turn is reliable with Kennen, Jarvan, and the Nautilus. So because of that, get Baron control and turn off the Baron. That's what you have to do. Here we go, though.
Now fishing for a play here, moves back and is immediately going to get deleted. Use the ult, I'm not sure on what, but now they're trying to find the turn. Boogie into the back line. Betty's still not into the fight yet. Now immediately going to leap forward. Dracula first on his target list. Not able to grab it. Hanabi, though, now on a killing spree, in trouble. Hanabi still alive. The rest of Flash Wolves stepping forward. Rather and Betty untouched. The carries you have to keep your eyes on, but Betty goes golden. He's caught in enemy territory. Rather needs to save the day. Betty needs to make his way out, but he gets shut down. Jackie Love able to find it. Rather still alive. Flash Wolves stepping forward. No damage left on the side of IG. They will take the fight.
And it is a 4 for 2 for Flash Wolves. They're in full control now. They're going to TP Hanabi back in. They have double smite with the spellbook, as well as a Cassio who can power through this Baron.
Cassiopeia absolutely going to shred this. They kept up one of their consistent damage members. Baron has started, and here's Ning trying to stop it.
Oh, potential hero moment for Ning. Potential embarrassment coming in for Boogie. He's been here before. The pressure to smite secure this. IG, this is the most contested they can muster. Now a TP coming in as
Hanabi
well.
might die.
Hanabi taking so much damage, forced to smite the Baron here. Boogie now in trouble as well. Can they secure it? They're shut down. The Baron going to fall to IG. Absolute disaster for the Flash Wolves.
And history repeats itself as Flash Wolves are unable to secure it around the Baron, ignoring this Ivern for so long. Ning chipping away at their health bars, knocking them down slowly.
And how many times have we seen a Baron in a 25-minute game end in 29 minutes, Papa Smithy?
It just happens to be the story again and again, and Flash Wolves are so stubborn about burning down the Baron. Yes, this game is closed by them by taking a Baron, but it also gives so much life back to the ability of IG to play 3 lanes.
Exactly, and why not make the turn? This is a flashless Ivern standing in your face, attacking you. You have the ability to turn and kill him off, to be more patient, and this to me feels a little bit desperate from Flash Wolves. It feels like they thought this was their one chance and they had to go for it. And let's watch this one more time. I mean, they're slowly just getting knocked down. The back spikes are hitting onto Hanabi, taking additional damage because he is behind that Baron. And look at Rather and Hanabi getting chipped away at by this Daisy and by the Ivern. They just wait so long to ever really turn and try to make a move.
It's just they weren't making a decision as a team. 3 different people were kind of annoyed by the Daisy and trying to take the Baron, and unfortunately, that just allows Ning to micro around Daisy. Daisy MVP.
Yeah, it has to be the most impactful Daisy we've ever seen in an Ivern game. Completely unignored, allowed to auto-attack and knock up so many different champions across the course of the fight, and a head scratcher for Flash Wolves. You know that's going to be one where they look back and you can see items now coming through. That's almost a 20-stack Medjai's. Runic Echo's an item we almost never see Ivern complete coming through as well.
Yep, picks up the Magi, just wander over to the Baron, standard stuff, triple kill, Baron take, yep.
I mean, he had that Medjai's before the fight started, and then Daisy did the rest of the work. Feels like Ivern's asleep at the wheel, but fine anyway.
It was there for the moral support.
Exactly.
Micromanaging his pets. Must be a Warlock player going through here. And now Flash Wolves absolutely on the back foot. Well, we saw the last team fight play out in their favor, out executing IG in the fight. Now it is not the case as IG spread across the map.
And how many times have we seen IG take one Baron and end the game? For them, it very rarely feels like it's the small Baron power play. It's the slow, methodical approach. They often have that killer instinct to find the one opening, dive, and close it out.
Remember the stakes here. Flash Wolves still playing. Try to play in front of their home fans in Taipei next week. Victory would go a long way, pushing themselves up to pole position for that spot in 4th. Flash Wolves for now, though, continue to play super defensively, split across 2 lanes for at least another 40 seconds.
Now we could see the tie come out. It could all come down to that final matchup, but Xiaoxi's still going to fish for the engage. Hanabi on the backside, unspotted. If Xiaoxi dies before the fight even kicks off, now immediately we see the engage coming in. Hanabi needs to move forward into the team. The Shy now using his ultimate. This is the Kenned's chance to shine. Steps forward. So much damage done to Jackie Love. Hanabi, they're not able to find the kill. Jackie Love's still alive. Jackie Love moving through the team fight. He manages to make it through. He goes down in the end, but IG take it.
And the Baron buff still there. IG can look to close it out.
Huge in control. You can see how straightforward it is for Flash Wolves, but the control is gone. IG might just end the game.
IG on the cusp of the 10-0 despite the abysmal early game for them, despite Flash Wolves outplaying them at just about every turn. The Baron turn is all that matters in the end. IG step forward. They are able to find the victory, and they're going to move up to 9-0.
And what a